This is your team. Do what you want to do with it. And he stuck by me through and through every single time, every year. Bill was like,
The Las Vegas Aces were once the powerhouse of the WNBA, but now, their roster has been gutted. Nearly the entire squad from last season is gone. Only two core players remain, MVP Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray. So what happened? Why is everyone leaving the Aces? Let's break it all down. Right now, the Aces are left with a roster that barely cracks the top 5 in the league. They're being forced to fill out most of their team with minimum contract players. That's not a formula for championship success. Sure, Liz Kitley is a decent pickup, but she was never going to be a top 4 draft pick, even before her ACL injury. The Aces will likely regret losing Da Fair last season, who could have helped stabilize their roster today. But are Aya Wilson and Becky Hammon really to blame? No. Why players are leaving? Players in the WNBA usually make decisions based on two things: money or rings. If you're a max contract player, you're chasing the biggest paycheck. If you're a role player, you're chasing championships. Take Sydney Colson. She left not because of drama, but because she saw a better shot at winning elsewhere. Tiffany Hayes? She wanted to be the #1 option on a team, so she took a max contract. Alicia Clark and other key role players also left for a simple reason. The Aces are no longer a dominant force. Some fans still think the Aces are a super team, but let's be real. Their big signing, Jewel Lloyd, hasn't been the game changer they hoped for. She shoots 26% from 3 and 36% from the field, far from the elite scorer they need. Meanwhile, Chelsea Gray isn't the same player she once was. People keep calling her an all-star, but the numbers say otherwise. She averaged just 8 points and 5 assists per game last season while struggling on defense. She's still a solid player, but she's not a difference maker on a championship team anymore. Jackie Young and Aya Wilson are going to have to carry this team, but even they might not be enough. Other teams are getting stronger. While the Aces are struggling to stay competitive, other teams are getting better. The New York Liberty have built a true super team and are clear favorites for the title. Even with injuries, they're stacked. The Minnesota Lynx just picked up key players like Alana Smith and Emma Meesman. The Indiana Fever got significantly better by replacing key players with veterans like Natasha Howard, Dewana Bonner, and Sophie Cunningham. Simply put, teams that were already competitive have made big moves, while the Aces have lost talent. The salary cap disaster. One of the biggest reasons for this downfall? The Aces' salary cap situation is a mess. They're the only team in the WNBA with 2 supermax players, Jackie Young and Aya Wilson, and 2 more players on max contracts, Chelsea Gray and Jewel Lloyd. That leaves almost no room to build a deep, competitive roster. Other teams have been smart about managing contracts. Players like Sada Sabaly and Alyssa Thomas have waived their supermax rights to help their teams sign better supporting players. The Aces didn't do that, and now they're stuck. No money, no rings, no reason to stay. At the end of the day, the reason players are leaving the Aces is simple. They can't pay competitive salaries. They don't have a championship-caliber team anymore. There are better opportunities elsewhere. Even Aces fans have to admit, the team got to the second round of the playoffs last year and got beaten comfortably by the Liberty. Next season is going to be even harder for them. Meanwhile, other teams are improving, making deep playoff runs and paying their players well. If you're a role player in the WNBA, why would you take a pay cut to stay in Las Vegas if you're not even guaranteed a ring? The Aces had their moment of dominance, but that era might be over. The rest of the WNBA has caught up, and the Aces are feeling the consequences of bad cap management and roster turnover. So what do you think? Can the Aces recover, or is this the beginning of a long rebuild? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Your support means the world. Let's hit that milestone together. This is WNBA Stories, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.